%26% on the nation report part that the percentage you belong to 12 order for the subtraction in math. In America, we had everything as an exceptional country. But the 26% sounds exceptional to you? Raise your hand if you think as a country we need to do way better than that. I'm with you. We all need math for why so many kids confused by us. It is because only 26% of people are hardwired from that, while 74% are not. After working with thousands of kids, I can tell you this is the case at all. Kids don't understand math because we've been teaching it a dehumanized subject. But if we make math human again, it will start to make sense again. You are probably wondering, how is math in every human in the first place?
So think about it. Math is a human language, just like English, Spanish, or Chinese, because it allows people to communicate with each other. Even in ancient time, people need the language of math to conduct trade, to build a monument, and to measure the land for farming. This idea of math, the language, isn't exactly new. A great philosopher once said, "The laws of nature are written in the language of mathematics." So you see, even Galileo agrees, isn't it? But somewhere along the line, we're taking the language of math with about the real world around us, and we abstract the beyond recognition. And that's why kids, they get confused. Let me show you what I mean. With this third grade Californian math standard, and we people make sense when 8-year-old.
Understand the function 1 over b as the quantity formed by one part when a whole is partitional into b equals part. Understand a function a over b as the quantity formed by a part of side 1 over b. And if you keep this description to a 8 years, you probably get ration like this. To a math expert, the standard makes sense. But to a kid, it's an absolute truth. I tell this example specific because the functions are the foundational to algebra, trigonometry, and even calculus. So kids don't understand function in the elementary middle school because it had half round way. But there's a way to make subtraction simple and easy for kids to understand. Yes, just remember that math in the language and use that the fear to make it.
For example, when I teach first grader how to add, I start with the apple plus apple lesson. For say yes, what's one apple plus one apple? And kids often say 2 with the partly correct. Half them include the word as well as the math of the language, but not 2, it's 2 apples. Next is 3 pencils plus 2 pencils. You already know that pencils plus pencils give you pencils. So everyone, how many pencils?
5 pencils.
5 pencils is right. And the key is you include the words. I tried this lesson with my 5-year-old niece Man. After she's added pencils and pencils, I asked her, what 4 billion plus 1 billion? And my aunt overheard this then. She scolded me and said, "Are you crazy? She's in kindergarten. How is she supposed to know 4 billion plus 1 billion?
I'm done it. My niece Vanessa counting looked up and says, 5 billion? And I say that's right, it is 5 billion. My aunt stood ahead on that, because she didn't expect that from the 5 year. But all you have to do is take a language approach, and math become intuitive and easy to understand. Then I asked her a question that kindergartner definitely not supposed to know. 1 over 3 plus 1 over 3. And she immediately answered 3 over 3. Such as you are wondering, how can she possibly know that when she doesn't know about the numerator and denominator yet? You see, she wasn't thinking about numerator and denominator. She solved the problem this way. and she used 1 apple plus 1 apple as her analogy to understand 1/3 plus 1/3. So even a kindergartner can add subtraction. You'd better believe that every third grader can do it as well.
Just for fun, I asked her an algebra question. What 7x squared plus 2x squared? And then the 5-year calculator answer 9x squared. She did it any exponent rules to figure that it out. So when people say that we are either wired or not, it's not true. Math is a human language, so all the ability to understand this. We need to take a language approach to math urgently because many kids and they are concerned about it doesn't have to be that way. I worked with an angry, frustrated high school student, one who couldn't pass the algebra because she's only 44% of the multiplication text. I have heard that such a kind of right only knowing the 44% of the alphabet holding me back couldn't pass her alphabetical relation, and she had no confidence in that.
As the result, this teenager had confidence in herself. I've told her we have to start with the multiplication.
Because once you know all your facts by heart, everything gets easier, and it will be like having a fast pass to every ride of Disneyland. What do you think? And she said, okay. So, she systematically learned her times tables in 4 weeks. And yes, even multiplication has language embedded in it. You'd be surprised how many kids don't realize 7 times 3 can be spelled out as 7 times 3, which just means 3 7 times, just like this. So, when kids see this way, they quickly realize that repeated addition is slow and inconvenient. So, they quickly memorize that 3 7 times always give you 21. So for this teenager who was at risk of dropping out, becoming fluent and confident in multiplication was the game changer.
Because for the first time, she could focus on the problem solving instead of counting on her fingers. I know she had turned the corner when she figured out that 2 years college at $445 amount would cost you $10,680. And she looked at me disapprovingly and sighed, "Mr. Polisok, it's expensive." At the moment, math was no longer causing problem for her, but she was using math to solve problems as a responsible adult would. As an educator, it's my duty to challenge kids to react higher. So I leave you with this challenge. Our country is stuck at 26% proficiency, and I challenge you to pass that number higher. This is important because mathematical thinking not only builds young men, but our kids needed to imagine and build a future that doesn't yet exist. Meeting this challenge can be simple as apples plus apples. Insist that we teach math as human language, and we will get there sooner rather than later. Thank you.